Good afternoon. First and foremost, let me apologize on behalf of the party for the delay. I'm sure you will believe me that it's not in our character. We are very time conscious, but some issues that are very important of emergency at INEC that need my attention. So we are sorry for the delay. As you are aware, as the National Organizing Secretary highlighted, today is just 2 days or a day after the declaration of the Osun gubernatorial election results. You are aware SDP participated in the elections, but I'm sure you will be surprised, just like every Nigerian, the dismal performance of the party irrespective of the election, which I'm sure many of you are aware is as good as SDP did not participate, but nonetheless, because we were in court irrespective of the Osun governorship candidature, of which until last Wednesday, that the Court of Appeal ruled irrespective of the candidature and also affirming the leadership of the party. And we struggled to get the certified true copy of that judgment to be taken to INEC for INEC to recognize the SDP candidate in the elections. And indeed, this has become like a recurring decimal for the SDP. But as much as we are doing everything possible to maintain a cordial relationship with anybody, we are going to take it up to make sure that things like this do not happen to us. Because the same way in Eke, when we were having the Ekiti governorship election, our candidate was offloaded just less than 8 hours to the election, because our candidate was offloaded almost after 12 midnight on the eve of the Osun election. That was just some few hours to the morning of the election. So, to the extent that we could not be able to even upload our agents, and they were denied to be recognized as the respective polling unit that they are supposed to be there. Most of the voters were disenfranchised. They felt at least the SDP is not going to participate, so they went their different ways and so on. So the same thing in the Osun election, until Friday that we were able to lay our hands on the certified true copy of the appeal court judgment, what makes INEC to now accept our candidate as one of the candidates to participate in the elections. And to communicate to the state, and in particular to our respective agents and party leaders in Osun, so that they will gear up to participate, becomes an issue. So, be that as it may, it affected us very negatively. But I want to assure you, what happens in Osun is not the true strength of the SDP and its acceptability across board. But these are the issues, because already voters felt SDP is not participating. They have already made up their mind to that SDP is not going to participate and so on. And there are a lot of even issues that I'm sure you are aware that before even then there were issues that SDP, the candidate also went this way, this and that. So, but nonetheless, be that as it may, we decide to address fellow Nigerians irrespective of what happens at Osun, and the lessons learned at Osun, and the lessons to take forward toward the 2027 general elections. I'm sure if there is anyone that has scored a golden point in Osun, the election management empire have done very well. Despite all the challenges and odds, equally, I want to say the security agencies did their best, irrespective of what transpired throughout the electioneering process in Osun. because the people will prevailed, and the Osun people have spoken. Their right to exercise their franchise was respected by declaring the person they wholeheartedly came out and elected, that is the incumbent governor. But among the lessons learned, particularly from the SDP point of view, it shows Nigerians that there is nothing like a smaller party or a bigger party in Nigeria, because Accord is one of the so-called smaller parties, and the governor just decamped some months ago, participated in the process to emerge as the candidate of the party, and the people of Osun came out en masse and voted for him because they believed in their government. So I think it's a great lesson, and it's a warning signal to the ruling party to know that they are not sacrosanct, they will be defeated, and I'm sure Nigerians are ready to exercise their franchise to rescue their country and take back their country. That is lesson number one. Lesson number two, there are a lot of moves here and there that people believed until and unless all opposition political parties come together and present a common candidate before they will face the APC in 2027 general elections. But what happened in Osun, the fact that the former governor of Osun, who served 8 years and one of their best, and who is the current national secretary of the ADC, is from Osun. They fielded a candidate. They are one of the forefront political parties, irrespective of calling for a common front for the opposition. But yet, they went ahead to present a candidate, campaigned vigorously for the candidate, their presidential candidate, and all leaders of the ADC were in Osun, and they campaigned vigorously for their candidate. But yet, the fact that all the opposition parties that are expected to meet tomorrow or to sign a fact and so on were there, have respective candidates, but still the people of Osun came in their unison to see through whom do we think is the best for us for now, given the circumstance, that can be able to win the election for the opposition. The fact that the opposition, in their own wisdom, the leadership of the opposition did not come together and present a common candidate to the people, but the people in themselves decided to say, this is the way we are going to go, we will make sure the opposition won the election, irrespective of whatever happened about the leadership of the opposition of the candidates. So the Osun people have taught Nigerians a great lesson. And I want to assure you that the SDP applauded this more than any other political party. Because, why? Because we believe today, as it is today in Nigeria, whether you like SDP or not, whether you believe in what we are professing toward the rescue mission of our dear country or not, today as it stands out, I stand out to be corrected, I stand out to be challenged. The SDP today present the best of candidates in Nigeria toward 2027. In terms of capacity, knowledge, competence, character, knowledge of the country, humility, and the tribalized Nigerian, that we are looking for someone that can unite the country, particularly now that we are in a serious disarray in terms of ethno-religious original affiliations, rather than prioritizing the country, rather than prioritizing the issues that derail us back as a nation, as the leading black nation on earth, as the leading nation in Africa, but we are busy prioritizing our personal ambitions, just as what was conversed or was noticed in Osun, where if the opposition to some of us really want to come together and do what is right and help the common man, they will have started by the Osun by presenting a common candidate or supporting a common candidate. But nonetheless, the people decide to go that way. And all along the SDP way is that we are for the coalition of the Nigerian people, and I'm sure the Nigerian people collide and make sure that they come in unison and they are ready to salvage and rescue their nation and take back their nation. I want to assure Nigerians they are not going to regret anything by voting the best that we have presented. We have issues that when we are discussing with the most critical leaders of opposition parties, indeed even the ruling party, they will not shy away to tell you that yes, SDP, in fairness, your candidate is the best for the job, has the best of understanding of Nigeria, is the best in terms of character, in terms of confidence, in terms of capacity, in terms of knowledge. But nonetheless, are we ready for SDP? I say you might not be ready for SDP. Nigerians are ready for SDP, but we are going to see that from Osun. And just like prophecy came through, the Osun people have proven that, yes, if they believe in something, you will go for it. This is lesson number 3. Lesson number 4 is that despite all odds, INEC distinguished itself, the leadership, the staffs, members of the commission in general, they have conducted the same professionally and they did their best. And it shows that if Nigerians are ready and are unified in the rescue mission to take back their country, I am sure they are going to achieve that, because it has been achieved in Osun. A lot of people have it that, yes, Mr. Amafitan was appointed as an INEC national chairman with the fellow national commission members by the ruling APC. They felt it's sacrosanct that they are not going to lose an election under the same INEC they so appointed. But yet some of us are resolute that, yes, from our interaction with the INEC chairman and the leadership of the commission, they have been reiterating on and off that they are ready to avail us with credible, free, fair, and transparent process. And I want to say in fairness, the same way if INEC erred, we always come out to criticize, not INEC, but their policies or their way of doing things as an institution of government and we as Nigerians. So in the same way, we will not shy away. We will not feel any guilty. If INEC does the right thing, Nigerians need to come out in unison and applaud and encourage INEC so that they can be able to do what is right, because this country belongs to all of us. Whatever happens to us, we have seen many, where we saw many INEC chairman and INEC commission members and INEC staff that retired. Here with us, I have one of my personal staff, was a former staff of INEC that served at it 5 years and is now retired. And he's feeling the pinch that all Nigerians are feeling as a result of bad governance under the APC administration. So one is that the onus now remain on fellow Nigerians, and you in particular, the media, to come out and enlighten or avail yourself so that you would be used effectively and responsibly to enlighten fellow Nigerians so that we will together rescue our dear country from bad governance. I want to assure you, if the people of Oyo, lesson number 6, if the people of Osun, if the people of Osun will come out and stand out and defend their mandate, I dare challenge my fellow northerners that bear the brunt more than any other part of this country and the southeast. In fact, even the southwest is something that I go everywhere. So if the people of Osun will come out and do what they did to rescue their country, then the people of Zamfara, the people of Katsina, the people of Maiduguri, Yobe, Sokoto are better placed in a position to come out and do much, much more than what the people of Osun did. And I want to believe that we have just started with the Osun, and sky is the limit. And I want to assure that what we prophesize as a party, that yes, Nigerians are ready. We see a situation whereby people who have been given 30, 40, 50,000, 20,000 vote buying, the level of violence, the level of people killed through the process so that they can, disenfranchise them, or they can make them to run away from participating and so on. But they remain resolute, they remain unison, they came out en masse, and they went along one direction because they believe if they split their vote, it will amount to an APC administration coming on board in Osun, and they know the consequences of what is awaiting them in the next 4 years of their life as a state. So they did the needful. So I want to assure you that, yes, and I want to use the opportunity to call on all other Nigerians that I'm sure Osun is one of the most peaceful states, is one of the best states in terms of all indices of human capital development. So those states, more than 30 that I know, that are worse off than Osun in terms of all human capital development, have the responsibility more than Osun people to come out and do the needful by sending this government back in 2027. Another thing is that for INEC, we thumb up for INEC, we applauded what INEC did, we commend INEC, and we want to encourage INEC to continue the way of Osun, to allow for a transparent, credible, free and fair election, to allow the will of the people to prevail and nothing. Because Mosu, when he was the INEC chairman, and indeed under a military government, appointed by the same military, he has all it takes to do whatever. But when the issue of Jin Chuan came up, he chose to remain on the side of the people, even when he was summoned at the Bila, after the meeting with the Armed Forces Ruling Council. He told them point blank, I am ready to continue with the coalition. Whatever it takes, I am ready to continue with the coalition. It was just forcefully that he was denied the security and all other areas that he needed to continue with the coalition. So we are calling on the INEC National Chairman, Professor George Maputan. I am sure by what happens in Osun, from yesterday to date, within the last 24 hours, I am sure the confidence of Nigerians, the confidence of our well-wishers across Africa and the entire diaspora on INEC and on Nigeria has risen more than 100%. I want to assure you, you are journalists, you know better than I do. I am sure if you aggregate the confidence that INEC earned by yesterday's declaration of the people will at Osun, it has placed Professor George Amopitan, his commission members and INEC staff on a very high pedestal, under the respect of not only Nigerians, but even the international community have started to have a rethink on the way they are thinking the 2027 general election will be. So I want them to keep off. The Nigerian people are with you. We, the political parties and the key stakeholders and actors are with you, I'm sure the international community and all our well-wishers are with you. We want to see more and more of this. 7. What happens in Osun before that was achieved? These are some of the challenges, but they are lessons learned. We have 30 local government areas in Osun. According to what happens in Osun, each local government area was manned and supervised by a commissioner of police. And we are having only 30 commissioners of police. I don't know how prepared are we, whether we are having up to 774 DPOs that can supervise the 774 local government areas. So this is a great lesson. The same thing, the level of deployment of staffs of INEC and so on is also unprecedented. So I don't know whether we have up to that level of national commissioners, INEC commissioner, resident electoral commissioners, and the directors and co that will be there in each of the 36 states during the general elections. So we have to start thinking along this line. What do we have to substitute that? It's a great lesson and a challenge, but we have to start thinking about it. We are lucky that we have up to 5 months or thereabouts to the general elections. But 5 months is enough for us to prepare a lot and do the needful to be able to devise a means by which we will circumvent this massive deployment of security and personnel and so on for us to be able to have a transparent election. Lesson number 8, or is it 9? 8. We saw a situation whereby 36 state governors, the Senate President, leaders of the National Assembly, ministers, head of extra-ministerial departments and agencies were all in Osun to deprive the people of Osun of their mandate. And all these governors and key leaders went with massive resources of their states, institutions, agencies, and departments, and went with multi-billions to Osun, spent it. The people of Osun, may God bless them, collected their lawful patrimony, exercised their franchise, elect whom they believe in that has what it takes to them for the leadership of their dear states. So I think, I don't know, though we are before the election there are still constitution review, whether the president will review the constitution so that we'll have as much as 1,000 governors that will be deployed to each state. If Osun will need 16, I'm sure Kano will need 100 governors with the resources that this governor went to Osun. But I want to assure you that that will not salvage them. They went there, they left in shame, they could not be able to achieve anything. Now, option number 9, we want to use this opportunity. I will stop at 12. I don't want to go if I want to. Lesson number 9, I hope we will use this opportunity to amend, though we don't even need any amendment to our laws. I want to use the opportunity to call on the Inspector General of Police and all our security agencies, chiefs. Is against the law. Even leaders that are of Osun's origin are barred from going around in the state, or from polling unit to polling unit. There are election observer monitors and observers that are accredited by INEC that are supposed to be the only ones that were allowed to move during election day. But unfortunately, how will governors leave their states, leave their duty force, and go to Osun and spend some of them up to a week, 3 days, 4 days with the state resources? We want to use in the SDP to call on the Inspector of Police to make sure that they use everything possible to prevent this happening in subsequent elections. By the way, we cannot even be able to contend with it, because you have only, if you can have 16 governors or so goes to Osun, then means the entire, all the governors will not cover more than 2 states. So what will happen in the other states? So to show that there is no way. Nasan 10, let the Nigerian people learn whatever from what the Osun people did, and whatever happens, if they bring out whatever, let them collect it and vote for their conscience. Conscience, just like Mike Ahamba said, is like a bag. A bag is like a hat. Everyone is hanging his own. So let them use their conscience and elect the best of the candidate. But as far as we are concerned, and as far as the record and facts on ground are concerned, I want to assure you the SDP today stand out with the best of presidential candidate and the best of the running mate. If you call Adebayo among presidential candidate, he stands out. If you call Dr. Usman Bugaji among the best presidential candidates in Nigeria, they stand out. The tickets stand out in respect of whichever indices or standard bearing that you are going to use to measure their level of competence, capacity, knowledge, and so on. And I'm sure they don't have any issue to do with certificate issue, HE on the side of Adebayo. There is nothing. So, number 11, I'm stopping at 12, I think. The opposition need to learn a lesson. Whether the opposition leaders want it or not, whether the opposition leaders are ready to genuinely come to terms with the reality of the challenges of Nigeria and the need that we are in a rescue mission, that we need a rescuer, whether they organize themselves or not. I am sure the people have shown that they are ready to organize themselves to salvage and rescue their motherland. So I am sure other part of Nigeria will learn this lesson from Osun. The opposition leaders will learn from Osun and allow a transparent process, even if the effort toward a coalition for common front toward the 2027 is there. Let it be genuine, based on a criteria that is based on prioritizing Nigeria other than personal ambitions, prioritization that is based on competence, capacity, character, and the knowledge of the country, and the ability for a leader to discharge his responsibility based on health, based on youthfulness, based on intelligence, and many other things. So I think I will leave the 12 for the other day. Thank you. May God bless.